You know that feeling you get watching a big tech show like CES? All those dazzling lights, the promise of a smarter, better future packed into every single gadget? It's exciting. But have you ever stopped and wondered what might be hiding just behind all that hype? Like, what if the next big thing is actually, well, a really big mistake?
I mean, think about it. For every brilliant breakthrough we see, there's usually a baffling dud not too far behind. For every problem they solve, it feels like they create a whole new one. So today, we're going to flip the script. We're not just going to look at the best of tech. No, we are diving deep into the absolute worst. And honestly, this right here illustrates the point perfectly. Take Samsung at a recent CES. On one hand, they were getting all this praise for their Galaxy Z trifold phone. And yeah, it's a genuinely cool piece of engineering. But at the very same event, they got absolutely slammed for their new AI Family Hub fridge. Critics were calling it a computerized billboard that literally forces ads on you just to, get some milk. It's wild. Same company, same show, two completely different stories.
So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? While everyone's busy handing out awards for the best in show, what if there was an award for the worst? Someone tracking the most useless, the most invasive, the most downright frustrating tech out there. Well, turns out there is. And listen, this isn't just a bunch of random complaints on the internet. We're talking about a whole coalition of experts who've actually created a set of worst in show awards. And they're organized into these really specific categories that shine a light on some of the most troubling trends in the entire tech industry. Okay, so first up is a huge one: environmental impact. I mean, we're talking about this explosion of single-use electronics. The gadgets you use once and then they're just gone. It's creating this growing mountain of e-waste, all from products that are basically designed to be thrown away from the start. And the winner for this category? Wow, it's almost unbelievable. It's called the Lollipop Star. Get this, it's an electronic lollipop that plays music through bone conduction for about an hour. And then, poof, you throw it away. The battery, the circuitry, all of it. Literally designed to go straight to a landfill after just 60 minutes of use. I mean, come on.
All right, now for a term you really need to know because you're seeing it everywhere. It's called end-shitification. Basically, it's that process where a platform or a service you love just gets deliberately worse over time. They lock you in, they take away features, they make things difficult, all just to squeeze more and more money out of you. And this year's winner is such a perfect and super frustrating example of this. So imagine this. Your e-bike's battery dies. Should be a simple fix, right? Wrong. Not if you're using the Bosch e-bike Flow app. It uses this thing called parts pairing to digitally lock the battery to the bike. That means you can't just pop in a new one or take it down to your local repair shop. Nope. You're forced to go right back to Bosch, giving them total control. It's infuriating. And that whole Bosch situation brings us to a really fundamental question. When you buy something, do you actually own it? Our next category, repairability, tackles this head-on. It's all about this growing trend of companies designing products that you, or even your local repair shop, simply can't fix. It basically forces you to either pay for their super expensive repairs, or even worse, just buy a whole new device. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The grand prize winner, the overall worst in show, goes to, drumroll please, that Samsung AI fridge we talked about at the beginning. It got called out for taking a super simple job, keeping food cold, and just over-engineering it to death with voice controls that barely work and a built-in computer that serves you sponsored content. It's just a truly spectacular failure in design. Of all these categories, there's one that just seems to get more and more critical in our connected world, and that's privacy. And the winner, or loser, I guess, for the worst in privacy, is a product I bet you've seen probably on a neighbor's door. We're talking about Amazon's Ring. So, Ring took home this prize for what the judges called a sheer expansion of surveillance capabilities. And what that really means is the company isn't just sitting back and maintaining its system. No, they're actively finding new and even more powerful ways to monitor our lives. So, what exactly makes Ring so bad for privacy? Well, it's not just one thing. It's the whole system. The critics basically broke it down into 5 huge areas of concern. First off, you've got non-consensual facial recognition. It's just scanning everyone who walks by your house, whether they agree to it or not. Then there's an AI that's always watching for unusual events, which basically turns our neighborhoods into constant surveillance zones. It gets worse.
They're even using mobile surveillance towers that can be set up anywhere. And as if that's not enough, there are huge risks with their new app stores selling your data to whoever wants it. And finally, and this one is really concerning, is how easily all your footage can just be handed over to law enforcement. It's a privacy nightmare, just one step after another.
And check out this quote from Cindy Cohn. She's the executive director of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, so she really knows her stuff. She warns that Ring's new app store could basically open the floodgates for, and I quote, sketchier third-party apps to harvest our data in ways that are even more invasive than what Amazon is already doing. Just let that sink in. That's a pretty chilling thought.
So, that begs the question, who is actually behind these awards? Is it just a couple of angry bloggers ranting online? No, not at all. Let's actually take a look at the who and the why behind all this. Okay, so this is a really serious effort. It's organized by a whole coalition of some of the most respected consumer advocacy groups out there. We're talking top privacy experts and the leading figures in the whole right to repair movement. And just look at this judging panel. It's a who's who. You've got Cindy Cohn from the EFF. We just heard from her judging the privacy category. You have Kyle Wiens, the founder of iFixit, the go-to site for fixing your own stuff, handling repairability, and Cory Doctorow, the author and activist who literally helped popularize the term enshittification, is judging that exact category. I mean, these are the absolute top experts in their field. So, how do they actually pick the winners? It's not just about things they personally don't like. They have a really specific checklist for what makes a product a failure. They're looking for products that aren't just bad, but are uniquely bad. Things that are actually a step backward from what we had before. And, most importantly, they're looking for products that have the potential to cause real, actual harm, whether that's to our privacy, our wallets, or to the planet. Okay, so this might all seem like a fun little takedown of some silly gadgets, but here's why this really, really matters to you. These aren't just isolated failures. They're symptoms of a much bigger problem, one that affects every single one of us who uses technology. Because at the end of the day, these awards aren't really about just shaming companies. They're about starting a conversation. Think of it as a wake-up call, both for the tech industry and for us as consumers, to really redefine what good technology actually means. It's not just about being new and shiny anymore. It's got to be respectful, it's got to be repairable, and above all else, it has to be genuinely useful to the people who are actually using it.
Which really leaves us with one final and pretty powerful question. These awards do a great job of highlighting the problems, right? But the solution, well, that starts with us. So the question is, how do we, as the people who buy and use all this tech every single day, start demanding products that are actually built to serve us instead of the other way around? It's definitely something to think about.